give me fire, give me that one to the side.
All right, welcome back to Wind Tunnel TV and the iRaid Furniture Mart Super Series. Tonight, we go left and right. We're out at Watkins Glen with the super late models. Should be a blast out here with these cars. It's going to be a heck of a fight. I'm Dean Doucette, joined, as always, by Baron Labosco. Baron, turning both ways. I don't know. Is this normal? Can we handle this?
Well, we got no choice tonight, Dean, and it's good to be with you. Yeah, left and rights tonight in the great Watkins Glen. So a little bit of a wrench, if you will, thrown at these drivers tonight. Now, normally we see them on short tracks in these late models, and they do a wonderful job with that. A lot of drivers cutting their teeth for the first time on a road course tonight in this league. So it's a great road course. It's very fast. It's very aggressive. Smooth and steady is going to win this race for some of these drivers, for one of these drivers tonight, I should say. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, should have changed the keys to the race tonight. I don't think it's about who wants it, but maybe who survives it, Baron.
Yeah, it could be just that, right? Road courses are a little different from your traditional oval. So we're going to see some guys use pit strategy tonight and actually increase their track position by pitting under green, believe it or not, Dean. So you're going to see some guys taking tires and service. Should this thing stay green and we don't get the chance to re-rack them, we're going to see some separation on the field, and some guys are really going to use these pit strategies to their advantage.
Yeah, it's going to be really interesting, the pit strategy for sure. We're trying to figure out how that's going to work at a place like Watkins Glen. Take a look in under championship standings. Adam Cole up top, leading the way for the Cole family, and I know that'd be a great source of pride for Adam out there. You got Adam Newton as the two Adams run up front. He's right there, as long with Jason Spear. Very tight battle at the top with Bruce Pearson. And then you got a bunch of guys who are going to have to wait for drop weeks to get engaged, to get back in this thing. Ryman Cassel grabbing his first win last week. How about that, Baron?
Yeah, it was a great race. It was good to talk to Ryman in victory lane. Ryman, maybe a latecomer to this series, but really coming on strong with some great runs. Solid effort last week, got a W. And to your point with the point standings, we had talked a little about Marvin Termeyer, who last week was in the top 5 in points. Had a little bit of trouble last week, and Marvin falls out of the top 10. So that's how each one of these weeks can really play out for one of these drivers. And tonight we're going to have some haves and some have-nots.
Yeah, super interesting. Big opportunity for someone out there, perhaps with some more road racing experience, to make a big leap in these points. We know over in the chat, we got someone saying the 99, the Rocket Man, has got a rocket ship tonight. Could that be the case? Could he be the man to win this race here tonight, Baron?
Tyler Lem always a factor in one of these races, so we're going to look for Tyler tonight to be up front. If he's got road course experience, we could be talking about him in victory lane tonight, Dean, and we know he's got some supporters in the room, so we're looking forward to seeing what Tyler has in store for us.
Absolutely, man. I'm looking forward to this one in general. Not a big road course racing guy, I must admit, but I am looking forward to this. The super late models, a little grip out there. They're probably, from what I've gathered through talking to people, maybe the best, NASCAR style car to race on this track, Baron.
Yeah, that sure is. So look, these late models have a lot of downforce on them, Dean, and they're very light. So we're going to get a lot of grip out of these guys if they can manage the right foot and keep the car steady and even through the turns. We're going to be in pretty good shape. We're going to see some great racing.
Definitely going to see some great racing out here. And let's get right in to tonight's starting grid, brought to you by k-t.org, the qualifying sponsor. Please go check them out and their wonderful website. Tonight, it's the Collins and Hines Wholesale 30 And we've got Austin Miller on the pole. Mr. Excitement himself up front. The 42 comes in with a time of 1 minute 14 seconds, 0 point or .013. Brian Cole will start on the outside of row number 1. Looks like an oval race to me with these two up front, so very interesting to see that. You got Herzog and Kennedy in row number 2. It's Newton and Lem in row 3. Adam Cole, your points leader, brings him in row number 4 along with Walker Cole. You got Alan Rowell starting at 9th, and Marvin Termeyer Jr. will start 10th. Bruce Pearson and Ian Spear will start in 11th and 12th. It's Hines, Bartel, Lester, Purnell, and Jason Spear at the rear of the field.
All right.
I believe we got Marvin Termeyer. Is that Marvin Termeyer we hear?
Yeah, we're here, Dean. How you doing tonight, bud?
Doing just great. Marvin, how you feeling about this? A little road action here in the Super Lates.
Oh, man, I love Watkins Glen. I've been looking forward to this race. Got in a little bit late, didn't really get any practice, so kind of missed the mark in qualifying. But, you know, main thing with road course, you just got to keep it on the pavement and not get too crazy, and it'll probably work out in the end.
Absolutely. Baron, you got a question for Mr. Termeyer?
Yeah, buddy. So lefts and rights tonight. Tire management going to be part of your day?
I mean, we had a few practice races, and I mean, tires didn't really seem to be that big of a deal. You know, the rear end starts to get a little bit of squirrely around 10 laps into the run. Just more throttle control should be good. Really just got to watch, make sure nobody else is getting off track, getting back up in our way, and that sort of stuff. I think it should be pretty good. We had pretty good turnout at the practices, so I think everybody's ready.
Well, good luck, buddy. Tear them up, and we'll be looking for you here in Victory Lane at the end of this one.
No, we don't want to tear them up.
Go get them, brother. All right, cars coming around the final corner here, getting ready to kick off this race here tonight. The Collins and Hines Wholesale Products 30. It'll be Miller and Cole up front, ready to get racing under green flag. Green flag does drop, and in the inside, it's Miller off to a good start.
Yeah, pretty good start, and Austin Miller turning in a blistering qualifying run, nearly a half a second difference between him and second place. So we'll see if some of these guys can get through turn 1 and track old Austin down.
Looks like everybody through and clean. Good start to this one. Miller and Cole already kind of walking away a little bit.
Yeah, and that's going to be key to it, right? Some of these guys are going to have to get used to being around other cars on this track. We heard about practices went well, but being around other cars changes your line. It changes your braking points, and it causes the cars to act a little funny, especially in turns you're used to doing a certain thing by yourself. So we'll see how these guys act while they're around each other in traffic.
Already you can see these two up front looking pretty good. I'm a little surprised, or not surprised, but our oval racers are up here at the front. And what do you think about that, Baron? Is that just good racers know how to get to the front no matter what?
Yeah, well, I mean, if you practice enough and you've got control of your vehicle, you're going to be up front handling your business. And these two guys do that week in and week out. So you can tell that Austin and Brian have put their practice time. We got one around here, Dean.
It's Alan Rowell back here. He's sitting in the wall. Good job of letting the field get through before he moved. He's back up and running.
Yeah, now he's not dead either. So, like, the good news is he can go out there and he can continue to put laps down and increase his position just by keeping that car clean for the rest of the race.
You see they get a little spaced out here, which is, guys out here, normally, they like to get in there and do some battling, but here, the first few laps, I'm sure they're quite happy, Baron, to have a little bit of space.
Oh, look now, pit strategy in play as Adam Newton and Fred Lester are on pit road, Dean.
My goodness, what is this? What is this craziness we're seeing? Newton and Lester both coming in early here. This has got to be strategy, Baron.
Well, butter my jeans and call me Shirley, but that is absolute pit strategy right there. These guys have figured out by math that they can make it to the end now. So let's see what the rest of the field does with that.
Well, I can call you Shirley, but I ain't buttering your jeans up there.
Look, we could do that all night. We got this.
We had a couple off tracks back here. I don't think anything drastic happening though. Marvin
Nope.
and perhaps Pearson maybe making a little contact.
Well, we'll see.
As Austin Miller just set the fastest lap that lap, so him and Brian Cole in the 114s, nobody else is. So these guys doing a whale of a job out front.
And I got to tell you, 114 is a very fast lap, Dean. We've seen Xfinity cars strive to get to 114, literally twice the horsepower. So these guys are setting a pretty torrid pace already.
Definitely setting a torrid pace out there on lap 3 of 30. It's Miller, Cole, Herzog into third position. Colin J in fourth, and he's got heat from the Rocket Man, the 99 Tyler Lamb.
Yeah,
Behind him, Walker gets a little sideways.
And they will, right? As these tires heat up, they're going to start getting a little crooked. So it'll be fun. It's good time right now. And I'm not shocked to see Mark Herzog, old veteran, been on this track 1,000 times. Mark is going to be a factor before this race is over. He's got so many laps here. So let's take a look and see how he does.
Now Walker has slid this car in 3 consecutive corners, pair, and he is either he's just having fun out there or he is wheeling that thing for all it's worth.
Well, are you talking about the counter steer he's doing coming out?
No, he's losing the rear end.
Right. So that is a technique that iRacing drivers have figured out on road courses. So what he's doing now is he's actually applying the wheel to the car and then counter steering it through the exit of the turn, so that you kind of take advantage of the fixed axle that's in the rear end of these vehicles. And you'll see him come out of each turn attempting to counter steer that, and that gives drive off of the turn and makes him fast.
Well, the counter steer, I agree, of course, with everything you said, but losing the rear end is not really part of that strategy, is it, Baron?
Well, I don't know if he's losing it so much as he's using it. So, from the perspective now, if he's sideways, yeah, you're right, no question, he's out to lunch. But that little counter steer you see coming out of the turn, that's a by design move.
Very interesting. So Walker, you see him there, he's still losing that rear end a little bit. Perhaps there on entry, he locks him up as he got in a little hot, and he's into the
rear
fence.
end braking that thing, yeah.
So, a little hit and miss with the strategy there, but if anybody can get it hammered out, it will be Mr. Walker Cole. Austin Miller still leading. Brian Cole doing Cole things here, just stalking, and perhaps driving smooth as we know he can do.
Yeah, and again, not surprised to see Brian up here challenging for. Oh, we got a big mess back here, D.
Yeah, Adam Cole, something that's happening with him. It's brought a lot of people into play back here. Let's get a quick look in on a replay and see what happened to Adam. So here we go. You see him coming up on Walker, who had been a little slow. Coming down into entry here. He's looking on the inside, not room, locks him up, takes Walker out. So that's a Cole on Cole crime event.
Yeah, that's a shame. Just apparently these cars are a little bit loose getting into the turn. The fella's going to have to watch that brake bias.
Yeah, definitely, and that's one thing you can play with during a race, Baron. Most adjustments you got to pit or anything, but brake bias can be changed on the fly. Am I correct on that?
Oh, absolutely. And the more they dial it into the front of the car, the less that rear end's going to want to step out going into the turn. So we'll see some guys, a lot of activity trying to get that brake bias dialed in just the right way so they can drive these cars.
So lap time's already creeping up here. Miller running a 1:15.4, Cole a 1:15.3. These guys quite fast, and oddly enough, in the 1:15s, Mr. Adam Newton back in 15th place. So Newton back here for whatever reason, but he's running some pretty quick times.
Yeah, and he's got some laps on this track as well. So he was talking about it last week that he's not afraid of this track. So we'll see where he lands. But right now, it looks like it's the Miller show.
he had actually, now that I think about it, Newton's already pitted with that interesting strategy, so we'll see how that plays out.
Yeah, so he's gambling on a long run here, and that should put him towards the front of the field when these guys start making greens.
Let's hop on board here with Mr. Miller and just see how he's compared to what we were witnessing with Walker with that counter steer. Little counter there, Baron.
Yeah, he's maximizing that drive off both tires or both wheels on that solid axle, doing the work for him.
I mean, it's funny when you watch, we're watching the race later, and you take a look in here, this looks like a ho-hum kind of drive, and that's often what you'll find from a leader, isn't it, Baron?
Well, we know race course etiquette, right? When you're on a race course, smooth is fast. So the smoother you are with the accelerator, the brake, and the wheel, the faster you're going to go.
Absolutely. Brian Cole still hanging in second place. He's there in striking distance. Had a little blip that last lap at 117. That'll happen from time to time on these road courses. Looks like we might have had a little incident back in the back between Newton and Lester. Maybe we'll go and find out what happened here. I see Newton. I don't see any Lester anywhere in the area.
By himself out
down
here.
in the corner and just
Nope.
loops it around.
Yep.
Right now, interesting. It's on lap 7. We've got Herzog coming in, so Herzog with the early pit stop.
Yep, so they're pitting in reverse now. Herzog figured it out too, so we'll see who else takes advantage of pit strategy early.
You see Walker Cole here. He's got TJ Bartel right behind him, so you know, Walker's been really fighting this car the whole race as he's perhaps overdriving, perhaps trying to work that strategy you were talking about and just, you know, getting the ins and outs of it together. But Mr. Steady back here, TJ Bartel, you know, look for him to get himself a nice top 5 tonight, Baron, because he's just the type of driver, he won't make mistakes.
No, I wouldn't be surprised at all. TJ's always a factor. And we've seen him run road courses with great efficiency. So the longer this run goes, it plays into a guy like TJ's hands. You know, he's very easy on his car. He's very quiet on the wheel. That plays into tire wear. And, of course, by the end of this race, he will start clicking off laps better than the rest of them just because he's managed his car better.
Right behind him, it's Austin Purnell. Purnell getting a victory this season. The number 38 machine looking pretty good. A little high on exit there, but there is room up there.
So yeah, a little trouble with entry, and here we go, right? We've got a good look in at Marvin Termeyer. He's recovered from his early spin. Austin Purnell's up 8 spots, so the back of the field's coming to the front.
Yeah, most definitely. Alan Roel back here with Jason Spear right on his bumper. We've seen Adam Cole getting involved with Walker Cole there just a few laps ago. He's hanging in at 12th. Herzog back here. Pearson and Newton still at the back, but has pitted. So Adam Newton perhaps going to be making a move, and he ran a 1:17.77. Compared to our leaders, still running 1:15s, Baron. Nobody else is, but these leaders really putting some times in.
Yeah, and consistent. So Austin hasn't left Brian, and Brian hasn't made any advances on Austin. They're just kind of holding station right now. So this may come down to a pit stop or whoever makes that mistake.
Let's see if we can look in on our sector times here, and you see it seems Cole faster through 1 and 2, but in sector 3 it's Miller.
I just like it when you say sector. It's all right. I enjoy sector timing too.
Well, I don't get a chance to use my sectors too much. But,
yeah, like last time I was on a blind date, right? Sector timing. So.
How about Colin J here? Colin J riding in third, got himself some space. This is how I like to do road racing. Everybody get away from me. I don't want people behind me. I don't want people in front of me. Let me race. And he's sitting in third, doing a great job.
Yeah, and you know, I'm the same way, Dean. Just don't get near me on these road courses. You never know what's going to happen. So, Colin's in a nice little, you know, he's in a Barca lounger right now, just turning laps.
I think I just had a flashback to racing you, Baron.
Oh God, I can't even imagine. I was either bringing home the checkered flag or bringing it back on a hook.
I
There was
love it.
no in between.
Tyler Lem, the mellow yellow machine, riding in fourth. Another guy got space out here. He's settled into fourth position. He's got to be pretty happy with this.
Yeah, and you know, the chat room going crazy. They're loving what they're seeing out of Tyler. You know, the Melio car bringing a lot of attention here in the chat room. If you're watching us on YouTube right now, holler out to your favorite driver because tonight's a special night for the guys at the Furniture Mart Super Series.
Yeah, people love the Rocket Man, the 99 machine. Take a look in on one of our title sponsors here. It's the Collins and Hines Wholesale Products 30. And this is Mr. Barry Hines up 8 spots already on a road course, Baron. Looking good out here.
Yeah, top 5 run going so far. He's got Walker Cole in his rearview mirror. But like you said before, Walker's had some struggles so far tonight. So Barry in a good place right now with a top 5 run.
Really is. And Walker, well, again, loose, so he's still pushing that machine. Walker, you know, what I can say is it's nice to be young, isn't it, Baron?
He's getting all of it. Look at that, Dean. I mean, he's getting all of it right now. I mean, he is hustling that car around. And, you know what? Damn it, we're going to do something with this thing tonight.
I love it. Just having fun out there, just letting her loose. And it's one thing you can do with these cars, you know, a little more than, say, you know, an Xfinity or a Cup car or something, is you can let it hang out a little bit.
Yeah, you can hustle these things around. You know, if you're an aggressive driver like Walker, you can really get going on that wheel and be aggressive on the brakes and the throttle, and it's going to give you some rewards. But you got to be careful here, Dean. I mean, he is absolutely sideways coming out of both of these turns. It's great to watch. It's great
Every
TV.
corner.
Yeah.
I mean, he's been doing this since the start of the race. He's just, I mean, it's amazing the car is still drivable the way he's been hanging that thing out.
Yeah, and he's doing a wonderful job, but lovely. Look at that.
He is drifting these corners. This man is having fun out here.
Walker's drifting out there, folks. I mean, if you've never seen a full-on NASCAR drift, you're looking at him right now.
Calms down temporarily to get through the old boot here. And on exit, of course, he hangs it out. Look at this drift. This is amazing.
Four-wheel slide through that turn. That's amazing. He's still got this thing, and he's driving it fast, too.
A lot of fun to watch. My
if you
goodness.
are not entertained by this guy driving, folks, you don't like racing.
Newton got some damage out here on that right front as he's riding in 14th. Remember, he has pitted. And so is Herzog. Herzog up in 11th. So the In-N-Out Burger machine there is doing quite well in 11th with a pit stop under his belt.
Yeah, so first of all, In-N-Out, and Herzog doing a great job here. As he's manifested that pit stop into position. So he's 8 down, now 7 down on his starting spot. But he's done pitting, so everybody else is going to have to come in.
Here comes Alan Rowell. So we're going to bring up our pit board here and to see some of these times. And, you know, these are a 50-second stop for Cole, a 45-second stop for Newton. And those are that's pit road time, my apologies, a 13-1. So I think even though Newton pitted early, I think he grabbed tires because he needed so much gas.
And it's a smart thing to do, right? Rubber matters here, and we need all the fresh rubber we can get for these turns, Dean. So just, you know, give me the fresh Goodyears and let me be on my way.
Pearson coming in as well, so Pearson getting tires. Back up front, still Mr. Miller.
Yeah, about a second and a half now over Brian Cole, so Brian keeping it manageable right now. Austin looking smooth as ever, and we'll see when Austin decides to bring it in, because that could be the difference between second and first place here. So Austin will do whatever he needs to do, and Brian will probably follow suit on that pit stop.
You look at that lap history there, and you see Cole was reeling him in for 3 laps consecutive, and then Miller just put the hammer down and set 2 extremely fast laps.
Yeah, so maybe that car's starting to go away for the 10.
We stay here until they complete this lap, and we'll have a look and see how these times shake out. So they're back to Cole. So Cole grabs 4/10 of a second there as he continues to work out, as Pearson's coming off a pit road here and almost wreaking a little havoc, but a good job there.
So pit stops starting to happen for most of the field now, as Austin Miller sets blistering speeds lap after lap against the rest of this field. The only one keeping pace with him right now is Brian Cole.
Yeah, these two really almost all alone. You got to go back a ways to find Colin J. He's close to 20 seconds back. It's the 3 machine all alone. And then, of course, you got Lem and Hines and Walker out here just having his own race and his own fun. I think he thinks he's on a dirt track out here doing a great job.
Putting on a show for the fans here, folks. I mean, if you're watching at home, that's entertaining stuff.
It certainly is. TJ's here, and we got a pitter. It's Jason Spear coming in. So Jason Spear takes the O2 machine to pit road.
Yeah, call me Mr. Potato Head, because I tell you what, I could never get these courses and these pit stops figured out the right way. I could drive them, but I could never get the pit stop right. So, I always had to rely on a caution to get me to pit road.
Well, that's practice, Baron. A lot of these racers like get out here and they practice racing, but pit stops, maybe not so much. I know I'm extremely guilty of that.
Yeah, no, and I'd have to break out the calculator, figure out how far I'd had to go on fuel, and it was just not good. Math, confusing.
Using that Canadian calculator again.
Yeah, I got to get naked to count to 21.
I don't want to further that discussion, Barrett. I don't know what you're using for counting. I don't want to know.
You can use your imagination. The kids at home understand what I'm saying. Right? Oh, it's going to be one of those nights. And I am stone sober, too, for the record. That's, yeah.
What?
Stone sober.
Purnell in as well. Now, Baron, were you aware of the back, when World War II was going on and we were looking to get back, it was over, looking to get back to things? Watkins Glen was the first track raced, bringing racing back to America.
I did not know that, Dean. Where would I find such information?
Well, that's what we call a Jared Carr fact. A little shout out to Mr. Carr and his vast knowledge of history. One of our factoids here at Watkins Glen.
Our very own Larry Mack, Jared Carr. If you ever catch him in the iRacing world, Jared is a book of useless racing knowledge. He will talk to you about it, and it's wonderful. So if you get him in a room someday, ladies and gentlemen, and you're out there racing, you see Jared Carr, and ask him about anything that has to do with that track or that car, he'll tell you all about it.
Absolutely, he will. He is a wealth of information.
Yeah, he's got his Mac Nuggets all set up. He's good to go. So he's our very own Larry Mack.
We got Colin J, Tyler Lem, and Walker Cole all on pit road.
So now we're going to start shaking up the field a little bit. You can see Barry Hines is up 10 spot. TJ Bartell in 4th place now. Mark Herzog's recovered after his pit stop, and he's in the top 5 now. So we're waiting on the top 2 to pit, and let the shake up begin, right?
Well, see, Herzog, what a move. So this pit stop, this early pit stop out of Herzog, I can't say where he came in. He came in so early, kind of surprised me what position he was in. but now he has jumped Kennedy by 20 seconds. So it's paying off as long as he doesn't come in again.
Right, and that's what his design was: pit early and make everybody else chase him, and that's what they're going to have to do now, as he's going to assume probably first or second place here behind Barry.
Coming down, 13 to go. Brian Cole hits pit road. Here comes Barry Hines giving up third. Got that Hines and Collins Wholesale Products car.
And there goes
down.
Herzog.
Herzog driving on by, so Herzog up into fourth. TJ Bartel in third right now. He still has to pit, I believe. Brian Cole back on the track in second, so he's 36 seconds behind. Has already pitted. Baron, I'm not too sure he took tires. We got to take a look in on our pit time here for Mr. Cole. A 12.9. I think he probably got tires with a 12.9 stop.
Real fast stop if he got it. Yeah, so that's pretty good. Austin Miller's in now, so your race leader's on pit row. We'll see how Herzog plays out here. I think he's got a shot at assuming the lead now.
Well, he's not going to assume the lead because Cole's in front of him, but he is moving up this board awful quick and probably fall into third, but we'll see if he gets by Miller or not. Miller got the left sides up in the air as we continue to watch here and see where Brian Cole will filter in. Down to 15 seconds. It's getting close. Cole going on by. Brian Cole has assumed the lead here through pit stops. What a maneuver from this STP type machine. I don't think that's a sponsor, but Brian Cole has taken the lead.
Right, and did we take 2 tires on that Miller stop? I thought I only saw the rights go up.
I'm not too sure on that. I don't know if we can go back and look or not, but a 12.9 as well. Or Brian Cole was a 12.9. Miller was a 13.8. That's the difference right now. So Cole and Miller's going to have to chase him down. We'll see if the pressure gets to him here.
Well, Austin Miller's got his work cut out for him now, right? So let's see what he can do, if he can catch the 10 car or not.
There's TJ Bartel coming back out on the track. So Bartel going to filter in around 10th place, so he's got work to do after a later pit stop here. Up front, Brian Cole. I can't believe it. Pit stop's so important, Baron. This is where you make your moves on these road courses, and it seems to me like just that getting on pit road. You can push the limits of it and gain a couple of seconds, but possibly crash like I would do. And I think Cole probably did it to perfection there.
Yeah, he did a great job. Came in, got his service, got out in front of the 42, and now all he's got to do is make sure he stays in his rearview mirror, Dean.
Yeah, I'd say stay out of your rearview mirror, but
right.
Up in front of him, we got a couple of cars there.
Right, so lap traffic. Adam Cole, your points leader right now, about to go a lap down.
Yeah, and this is, he's got Cole on Cole here. We'll see if he gives him some room. Looks like he's gonna. So out of the way goes Adam Cole. He's gonna let Brian on through. He's gonna come up now on, is that Pearson?
Looks like Pearson, yeah.
Or not, Spear up there. So Spear ahead of him right now.
Right, yeah. So Spear lets him go. All right.
Yeah, good job by these guys staying out of this thing. Miller got to work around as Spear comes onto pit road, or nope, just dipping real low there to give room. Good job by him. You're looking on Herzog. He's 12 seconds back. It's another big jump back to Kennedy. And then the Rocket Man, the 99, the Tyler Lem sitting in 5th. So Lem got, 6 seconds to run down Colin J. And he's got Walker behind him about 11 seconds back. Walker, he might have fresh rubber now, but it won't be fresh long, Baron.
Johnny excitement right there in the 20 car, boy. If you want entertainment, watch him come around this course. That's amazing. Love watching that, though. He's got his hands full. There it is. Look at him all over. Come on, son. Drive that thing, right?
My goodness, Baron. I mean, from lap what? I'm sure, is he just entertaining himself at this point? I think he is.
I mean, good Lord. I'd love to find out, right?
I mean, every corner just hanging it out. So entertaining to watch. And it takes skill, man. The normal driver just can't do this corner after corner after corner.
You kidding me? I'd have been off of every wall on every corner trying to manage that through the turns. No way.
So Newton's back in. So this is somewhat disappointing for Adam Newton as he hits pit road. You know, that early stop, Aaron, you would have thought that was strategy.
Yeah, I'm not sure what's going on now. Obviously, he can make it, so trouble with the 5 car tonight with Adam Newton. So we'll have to find out what happened.
Let's see what happened with Mark Herzog here. Having a little flash that something occurred. It may or may not have, but we'll get a look and see here. Oh, wiggle up on the grass, into the wall, hanging on, locking her down, doing a good job keeping it off the wall, back on the track, and he is alive, still hanging on to 3rd position.
Yeah, so iRacing doing a good job letting us know who's finding trouble out there, and we were able to dial into it. So Mark having a rough time trying to keep pace with these two.
So Cole and Miller's starting to hunt him down a little bit. Let's see if we can look in on the lap history and just see. Oh yeah, Miller closing in. I mean, the one big one was the pit stop, but after that, it's been all Miller, and he approaches now the bumper of Brian Cole.
Yeah, so Austin really taking advantage of those tires right now and getting all he can as he closes in on the 10. Interesting to note, still just about as smooth as glass. Got a little more play in the wheel now than we saw him earlier, but, you know, leaders set the pace, and chasers have to do what they can.
Hines has had some trouble here. Marvin coming by. TJ's coming by. Barry looking to get back in the battle, but doesn't want to wreak havoc on these guys. What a battle we got here. Purnell coming into it. So all these guys racing for position. Wow.
Yeah, awesome battle going on back here. Some great drivers doing some great things right now. I just love watching it. They're all over each other. It's cool, team.
Purnell desperately trying to get by. Hines up high. Had to get out of it a little bit. Purnell takes that spot, so Purnell up to 9th now.
So now Barry doing whatever he can to stay in 10th place, but he's under pressure. It seems like every turn somebody's after him, Dean. And here we go. You know, like as Purnell gets smaller, Rowell gets bigger in his rear view.
Yeah, and this is a tragedy of, you know, having the one place on the track where a bunch of cars are racing. You make a mistake, you know, normally you want to, you know, give me a few corners here to shake it off, and there's just no time for him here. These guys are all hunting him.
Yeah, very much a rhythm track. So the minute you get out of your rhythm, like we see here with, is that Mark Herzog again? Yeah, look at that.
Herzog.
So Herzog really having a battle in this second half of his race here.
Here comes Kennedy. So Kennedy working on Newton, who had just come off pit road, and they are closing in on Herzog. Herzog now only about a second and a half in front, and he's got to keep that thing pointed in the right direction.
Yeah, the wheels have, you know, figuratively fallen off for Mark because, you know, the first half of the race was real solid, and the second half of the race, calamity.
Up here, the battle continues. TJ Bartel, Marvin Termeyer, Austin Purnell, these guys battling 7th, 8th, and 9th.
So yeah, your top 5 holding station from the first half to the second half. So Cole, Miller, Herzog, Kennedy, Tyler Lem in the top 5 right now. So being chased by Mr. Excitement, Walker Cole. Here's Marvin. This is great racing.
Yeah, we got to get back up front here and see how Austin Miller is doing. You know, this is a guy leading the race in Brian Cole who's just not prone on any track to make mistakes. And, you know, for being in first is one thing where you can kind of let it hang out and set your pace. But you see this car in front of you and you're desperate. You want to catch him. You want to pass him. you start pushing a little bit. Could that be the case here, Baron? He might be overdriving a bit.
I'm not sure. Lines on this track vary from driver to driver. You saw Brian take a much more arced entry into the bus stop, and Austin went very shallow and made up time. So, every corner is different, every driver is different, and eventually they're going to figure out what works for them here.
These two continue to battle.
So Austin, nice and smooth through the first half of the race, and now he's chasing and he's working a little bit harder here, Dean. But like I said, it seems like there are corners where Brian is much faster, and there are corners when Austin's faster.
Yeah, and I think that's the case. We bring up our old sectors here and have a look at what's going on. Sector 1 went to Miller, Sector 2 to Miller. So Miller looking fast on this lap anyway.
Yeah, so I just like it when you say sector.
Definitely.
Make a movie out of it. So here's Miller. He's caught him.
Yeah, he's definitely caught him. This is not the first time. Probably won't be the last, but it's so difficult on these road courses when you get to someone to stay there. I mean, he's been here long enough. He should know the braking points of the 10 machine, but they'll throw you off. You got a certain point you want to start braking, but when you get this close to someone, you might brake a little early, Baron.
Right, and Brian's not going to give up the race. He's going to make Austin pass him. And so you're right, braking points will change for the 42, and he's going to have to anticipate that braking point to put his nose to make a pass.
So we're coming down to 4 to go here. 4 to go for Brian Cole, Austin Miller in hot pursuit. It's Herzog in third with Kennedy right there in fourth. So the battle's starting to heat up. Lem now only 3 seconds back in fifth. So the Rocket Man rocketing his way up into the top 5, looking at a possible top 3. Walker out here running dirt laps, lap after lap, sitting in 6th position.
Just drifting it.
Man, it's just so much fun to watch this kid wheel that thing around here. Marvin Termeyer in the 16, sitting in 7th position. Looking pretty solid here tonight, dare I say. TJ Bartell in the 78 machine. I think that's some of that super tape there he's got sponsored on there. My mistake on not getting that correct. Barry Hines in 9th. Alan Rowell in 10th. And it's Purnell. He's dropped off a little bit from that group. He's right behind our leaders. You see the battle. The 42 all over him, just can't quite get there.
Man, Austin's going to have his work cut out for him. Brian's not going to give up the preferred line, so now Austin's going to have to get creative. We got 3 laps to do it, though, Dean.
3 laps, quite a bit of time around Watkins, but it starts to run down. And what you don't expect is this. You don't expect a mistake. The 10 machine around, locking them up. Austin Miller to the lead. Brian Cole's going to be shooting himself for that one.
It was the Booth kiss of death right there. We were telling everybody how solid and steady Brian is, and we jinxed
I didn't say it. I only thought it, Baron.
I think I said it, so that one's on me. My bad, folks. Brian Cole with an uncharacteristic guffaw, if you will.
You see Ian Spear out here having a little trouble off in the grass, gets her righted around, and back he'll go. So Austin Miller now, really, after all that hard work and thought about how he was going to get it done, kind of gets it gifted to him. He's going to walk, assuming he doesn't make a big mistake, he'll walk to this victory now, coming down to 2 to go. Cole in second, Kennedy there, and Herzog starting to make waves here. The in and out machine starting to push his way into Colin J. Kennedy.
Right, so Colin needs to watch out. He's had a little bit of gap, and now that 57 car is filling up that rearview mirror pretty quickly. So while first and second place is all but settled, we got a real battle on our hands for third.
Yeah, we got battles out here. There's no doubt we got a battle here for third position, and we got a battle for 8th as it's Hines and Bartell going at it. So couple of big battles out here, and we know when you're championship battling, Baron, and at the end of the season you lose a championship by 1 point, you come back to races like this and you think, man, if only.
Right, that one spot we needed, and we saw last year's champion settled by 1 spot. So, oh, there's a nose poke out there for Herzog. Herzog letting him know I'm here, and we'll see if Colin fights him for it.
Big battle. Herzog wants it. Colin not going to give it up without a fight. Up top, Herzog swings it out high, gathers it back up. He's got one more time down into corner 1. That's the big spot, but can he get close enough, coming through these last couple of corners? I don't think he can.
Yeah, and lap traffic's going to play a role in this now. So if Herzog is close enough, that's going to be difficult for Colin. So let's see what the lap traffic does.
Yeah, this could be big. Jason Spear appearing on your camera, the O2 machine back in 14th position as Herzog hangs out that rear end.
Yep, so now Spear, taking up that preferred line, slowing up that 3 car. There's just no good way to get through these turns here before you head down the straightaway.
No, but Spear should let him go here, but we'll see. Last lap and all, you're fighting for everything he can fight for, so I'm not too sure he'll do anything in there. He's going to let him go, I believe. Herzog dives it in and loses it. He's lost the rear end. He's locking it up. Around he goes, and there goes another battle, and we're going to see, where's Lem? Here comes Lem going on by. So Tyler Lamb up to 4th position. The 99 machine grabs one there, unforced error out of Mark Herzog.
Yeah, cover your ears, little ones, because the string of expletives coming out of the 57 car is probably pretty creative.
So unfortunately, we had missed the finish there with Austin Miller. We're looking at some of these fights. Miller coming through the checkered flag. Brian Cole, he's going to come down and grab 2nd. It's going to be Colin J. Tyler Lem will come home in 4th. Then you got Herzog, if he can nurse it home, in 5th. Walker probably going to fishtail his way through to 6th. Marvin, and then we got this battle. TJ Bartell and Barry Hines fighting for 8th position.
So TJ really hustling this car through the bus stop right now. Let's see if Barry can finish it off.
Barry trying desperately to get that sponsorship into top position. TJ rocking the flex tape, trying to hold on to 8th. Everything, look at the status quo. I don't see anything happening. TJ just got to be smooth through this corner. Barry pushes it, doing a great job trying to get a run off. Just can't get the power down. TJ Bartell 8th, Barry Hines 9th. Alan Roel will come home in 10th. And it's Purnell, Cole, Newton, Spear, Pearson, Spear again, and Lester. But back up to Austin Miller. Man, oh man, led from the beginning. Cole took him on the pit stops and then made an unforced error, handing it back to the 42 machine. And you can see he's one happy man, Baron.
Yeah, that's a heck of a burnout right there. He keeps it off the wall. That's all-star burnouts right there, right for you.
Yeah, it really is. I mean, Miller, he wins a lot of races, and maybe you weren't expecting him here on the road course. Maybe he was expecting it, but great job, and always nice to see the 42 get one.
Dean, he told us last week he didn't like the road courses.
Oh,
he hates them.
Every time I hear that, Baron, I hate this track. They end up in victory lane every time.
Yeah, he was pretty candid about it. I don't like these road courses. I don't know if I'm going to make it, and then he made it, and sure enough, brought it home with a checkered flag.
It's an awesome job and a good race by all these guys. Really doing an excellent job here on this road track at Watkins Glen. But right now, let's take a short commercial break. We'll come back. We'll get race interviews with our... right, welcome back to the Collins and Hines Wholesale Products 30, where it was Austin Miller taking this race here in the Raid Furniture Mart Super Series. Just a great race all around, Baron, and a bit of a short one, which, some of the guys probably like here at the road course, but thrilling, really good battles. Watching Walker, always entertaining out here. Everything you could ask for in a road race here.
Yeah, sure is, and it might have been a shorter race, but I bet if we ask these drivers what the condition of their shirt is right now, most of them are soaked through. These guys are working brakes and accelerator, steering, shifting, pretty aggressive behind the wheel for these road courses. I remember my very first league road course race. I thought I'd run about 5 miles, so these guys worked for it tonight.
Oh, no doubt. And I keep mentioning it, but nobody worked harder than Walker out there sawing the wheel.
Oh, he
That
didn't.
was
My goodness. I mean, my goodness. I just love to hear what was in his head the whole time.
so a couple of guys not here tonight, like Woods and Perry. A couple others wish they were here, but nonetheless, a great job. You see the point standings updated. Nothing really happening at the top. Top four all status quo, and Miller gaining a spot with Herzog. Kennedy jumps a couple. Lem jumps a couple, and Termeyer's up three. Roel Hines up three. So those guys. Cassel not here tonight. He loses 7 spots. That's big, Baron.
Yeah, so we go from have to have nots again, right? So Ryman losing some spots here because he didn't participate tonight's race. We look forward to seeing him again next week, Dean. And this was a hell of a race tonight. So we got some folks to talk to tonight, don't we, Dean?
We absolutely do as we bring in Mr. Colin J. Kennedy here at Watkins Glen. He grabs third position in the number 3. Congratulations, Colin, on first of all keeping that thing pointed the right direction. Maybe the most important thing out there.
Oh yeah, no doubt. Mistakes was the number one reason why I didn't. Well, not mistakes, but me not making any mistakes is the reason why I really got third. I just kind of rode around, made sure my tires were cool the whole time, and just survive. And it ended up working out pretty well.
It worked out great, and that's a great strategy to have at a track like this, and it's often what you can get. Maybe victory wasn't in the cards, but third place, man, this is a big points night, and this could play big when you think championship. Was that what you were thinking going in? Let's just get out here and get whatever is given to us. Let's not try and take too much and ruin our night.
Oh yeah, no doubt. Started off the season pretty bad. One of them was my fault, but then I took a week off, but I was on vacation. But it kind of just set into me to think like I just need to start running more consistent instead of trying to go for a win, pushing it too hard, and just ending up not where I want to be every week. So this is something that I want to see more often. Even if it's not first, it's still a good points night. And then I mean those wins are going to eventually come. Um, Maybe even later on in the season, but as long as I'm running consistent, I'm fine with that.
Well, I love the thought process there, Colin, and especially you take a week off, get a little perspective, and maybe reevaluate a bit. We've seen you run up front, qualify on the pole, and maybe get it done, maybe not. But consistency is something that pays off. You as you go on in the years and the time on the track, you learn these things, and I don't think it ever ends, does it, Colin? I mean, the learning process, it's just continuous for a lifetime, is it not?
Oh yeah, no doubt. Some guys are just gonna be faster than you at certain tracks, so you want to adapt to what they're doing so that you know that you could be faster than them the next time that you go. I mean, like this track, I knew that I could get maybe I could salvage a lot of points getting away from some other people that, didn't take their time and actually practice this. I took a lot of time practicing this just to be consistent. I didn't want to spin out or anything. And that's exactly what I did. And so I'm not mad at myself at anything.
No, nor should you be. We thought you did just an awesome job out here. A great points night. We look ahead now, and we're headed to North Wilkesboro. How you feeling about that?
Feeling pretty good. I won last season's North Wilkesboro race. I know Brian's good there, so I gotta watch out for him. But once again, just gonna be clean. Gonna finish the race where I can, best I can, and just not outrun the car.
Absolutely. Love what I seen out of you. Love what I'm hearing out of you, Colin. I think you got a bright future here and expect you in victory lane here before this season's out. Congratulations on this third place finish. Any shout outs you want to give? Now's the time, brother.
Shout out my parents for always supporting me no matter what. Honestly, it helped so much whenever my dad was just telling me that I just need to start running more calmly instead of doing all that. Shout out to Brian for letting me get in this league. Shout out to Marvin for holding it for so long, and then shout out to Adam and Brian again for taking ownership. And thank y'all especially.
All right, Baron, you heard him. Giving a little shout out to Pops there, the wisdom of knowledge, and that's something that we all can take to heart. The old guys kind of know what they're talking about sometimes.
Well, and apparently Colin has picked up on those lessons and ran a very smart race tonight. But I'm with second place finisher here, Brian Cole, and we put the booth jinx on you tonight. Brian, tell me about your night.
Well, good second place finish, but I guess I just got a call. I'm gonna have a new sponsor for next week. A company called Coca-Cola, because I definitely choked tonight.
Oh, he shoots, he scores, ladies and gentlemen. Brian Cole's on the board.
Yeah, I saw Austin coming, and he was better than me all night. I just, I could run with him, but I just couldn't be as consistent every lap. And there at the end, I was like, well, he's coming, so you're trying to just not make mistakes, and it's just hard to do sometimes. And I just got on the gas a little too hard. And I was better than him in a couple areas, but overall he was better than me. And I don't know. I was really hoping, because I knew this race could get strung out and it might be boring for y'all to call. So I was like, man, this setting up. We might have an exciting finish here. And I went and screwed it all up.
Oh, you didn't do anything wrong, Brian. Look, Watkins Glen is a tough track for everybody to run. So, yeah, we were watching the race, and I put the jinx on you. I was like, Brian Cole does not make mistakes. We are going to be good. We're going to have a race at the finish. Just about as soon as I got done with that, you looped it around. So, blame that one on me tonight, Brian.
Well, I got to blame it on somebody, so might as well be you.
I got big old shoulders over here, Brian, and I'm in the great state of Pennsylvania. So, if you need to see me there, you just throw the jinx on me now.
Brian, you got to
Brian,
go back and check out what your son was doing on the track tonight.
if you didn't see it, you have to watch it.
He come over the radio. He said, I hope they got that on a broadcast. I did a 360 and kept going or something like that.
Oh, no. It was way beyond that, Brian. I can't wait for you to watch. So, look, first season with the league, you're running full time. You're running this thing full time. What are you learning, and what do you expect for next week?
Well, it's a lot of work. I think me and Adam and the Adams are kind of realizing what all Marvin, did to put this league on for so long. It's a lot of work. But we're just, all we're doing is just continuing what he built. And, I think Marvin is the one that, no, I guess it was Adam Newton that suggested the road course. And I think the road course worked out pretty good. I didn't think we'd even have 15 cars here. I just figured people wouldn't show up for the road course, but it had a good turnout. And I think everybody liked it. Most people liked it anyway. So it's been a good season so far. I think we're going to, I think it's Bristol or
North Wilkesboro next week.
North Wilkesboro. Okay, North Wilkesboro next week. It's 200 lapper, so I love that place. So looking forward to that. That's usually have a good turnout for that race. So looking forward to it.
Great. Second place finisher here, Dean. Brian, you got anybody you want to thank while you still got the mic?
Just want to thank my lack of ability for spinning out and maybe costing myself a race. And thank y'all guys for doing the broadcast. Everybody in this league loves to watch these things, after the race and watch y'all talk junk about us.
Well, we'll be looking for that new sponsor, Coca-Cola, ladies and gentlemen, on shelves and stores near you soon.
Thank y'all.
All right. Great job by Brian in that interview. I think that was a winning interview, Baron, if not a winning race here tonight.
I love it. I love it. He's got a great sense of humor about what happened out there, and you got to respect a guy like that.
Absolutely you do. But the guy who's getting all the respect tonight, the 42, Austin Miller, back in victory lane here on a road course. How are you feeling about that, Austin?
Hey, it was a great time. Sliding all over the place.
Man, it looked like a ton of fun to drive these things out here. Let's start there. How'd you feel about the car and how it handled on this road track? A bit of unknown going into it. It looked like a ton of fun.
It kind of suits my oval style because it's a lot of throttle control. Just trying to make sure you don't get the rear end sideways, just trying to drive off straight. So, and then just ironically rolling like the centers of the corners is beneficial, especially in the bus stop here. So, I was looking forward to this one. I'm glad Brian he gained some speed compared to last week when we ran a practice race. So that was fun because we were pretty much second off the whole race.
Well, yeah, I don't think you were a second off. Is that what you just said? You were a second off the
Oh, I
whole
mean,
race?
I mean, like within a second of each other.
Ah,
Like
yes,
one, yeah,
yes.
yeah, yeah.
Well, yeah, you were dominant early on, and well, of course, well, I wouldn't say dominant compared to Brian, but the two of yous were dominant, and Brian was hanging in there, and he jumps you with this pit stop, pits a lap or two earlier, and jumps you. Was this something from your pit entrance or his pit entrance, or just the fact that he come in earlier? And how concerned were you when he came out in second?
Yeah, so I mean, he pitted a lap earlier than me. I got caught behind a slower car coming on my in lap, so I think that hurt me a little bit. And he barely got out in front of me. We literally had the same pit strategy, same fuel, same tire strategy, and everything. So he just beat me by like a second or so. So I figured I had a little bit of pace on him, but it was gonna be hard to pass. I don't know if you guys caught it when we got into each other in the bus stop.
We did not. We were catching with several battles back and forth, and no, we did not catch that. Man, I wish we would have. But the battle as you're coming in, and that's a great example coming down into the bus stop. You know, you got to push those braking points, and it's tough because when you're out front, Austin, you brake where you want to brake, and when you're in second, you got to be a little timid sometimes. And just talk a little bit about how difficult that is when you're trying to make a pass.
Know if the placebo effect or what. I mean, super late models obviously don't run road courses, but I mean, I was getting like just arrow wash, just like once you got behind someone close, like the car wouldn't turn. It just gets super tight. Like you could not make a corner. So once I got a run on him going to the bus stop, like I sent it in there, and I think he went like 150 meters deeper into the brake zone than he usually does. So we just door banged going in the bus stop, and then the following lap he turned it and won. So that was kind of the end of it. But it was gonna be hard to pass him, to be honest.
Yeah, super hard. But you did what you needed to do, and you pressured him enough to see the uncanny mistake from Brian Cole there. And he's heard he's got a new sponsor, the Coca-Cola car. So he's taking it a little hard, perhaps.
That
but
was brilliant.
I'm looking forward to that paint scheme. He better make it now. Now, I mean, none of us really, especially with this car, no one runs it on road course, so it was a lot of fun. It's difficult. Like it slides all over the place.
Well, we'd ask you about Wilkesboro, but I know you'll be good there, Austin. I don't think we need to talk about that much tonight. So, congrats on this victory, man. I remember we talked to you. You weren't particularly thinking you were going to win this thing, but here you are in victory lane. A big congratulations, man. And any shout outs, anybody you want to thank, brother?
Yeah, just my mom and dad, my older brother. It's actually my mom's birthday tomorrow, so happy birthday to her. And thank you guys for broadcasting. We greatly appreciate it. I hope we put on a show. I'm glad it wasn't a runaway with one car, that me and Brian kind of put on a show for you guys.
You certainly did put on a show. Congrats again, Baron, race winner, Mr. Excitement, Austin Miller.
Yeah, hell of a night tonight for Austin, and a hell of a show he did put on. So no disappointment from the booth tonight. I got what I wanted, Dean. I got some drama. I got some excitement. We got one hell of a drifter out there in the 20 car. Can't wait to see what he's got for Watkins Glen, North Wilkesboro. And I told you earlier I was sober. I can't say the same for TJ Bartell. He's with us in the booth tonight, Dean. TJ, how was your night, buddy?
Tried to keep it uneventful.
Well, you did just that, I guess.
So that's no drinking, I think, Baron.
Sober, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so you brought her home eighth tonight. How you feel about this league so far?
I'm having fun. I'm enjoying it. These cars are fun to drive. Tonight it was probably the loosest I've ever seen these cars, at least for me. So I could have used a little bit more, forward bite off the corners, but just try to manage things. I went into the race thinking, or my plan was to run about 90% and just not make any mistakes and not overdrive it and not take myself out.
So TJ, we're used to seeing you in bigger cars. You like to ride in the truck, run in the trucks. You like to run the Xfinity series. We've seen you in the next gen cars. So tell me what the difference is between what you've learned in those leagues and what you're doing now in these late models. It almost feels like we're kind of putting you in a step down car. How are you running with it?
It's learning because they drive a lot different, and the tracks are generally a lot shorter than what I'm used to, and they really drive a lot better on the short tracks than like the bigger stuff does, in my opinion. They're more fun to drive, and I'm learning them. I'm learning the setups and how they drive, and just trying to better my game on the short track aspect for the other series that I run into. So, and these guys are a lot of fun to run with, and I'm learning a lot.
So this is awesome to see you down here working with these guys, TJ. We love seeing you week in and week out. Tell me, we're going to North Wilkesboro. Now, this is a track you've probably run in the bigger cars. So you think you might have a step up on these guys going into this track next week?
Um, I run there in the past a couple times, and I like the track, so I'm hoping that that's going to help me run good and be somewhat competitive. So see if I can't make the high line work, maybe like I did in the trucks, but we'll have to see. But I'm looking forward to it. That's a cool track to run. I'm really it's wide. You got a lot of options there, in my opinion. So I think it should put on a really good race.
Yeah, we're looking forward to seeing you out there. So next week, Dean, TJ Bartell, bringing it home tonight in a solid eighth position.
Yeah, TJ, we seen you in the waiting room, so we yanked you up here. I don't know if you're prepared for an interview, but we always love having you. TJ does some broadcast work with us. Obviously, someone we like a great deal, and I think your future's bright out here, TJ. You look good out here. But we head now, Baron, down to North Wilkesboro for the next one. That's going to be a blast. So we'll have that coverage here, the Raid Furniture Mart Super Series, as we always do every Wednesday, 9:20 p.m. Please come join us next Wednesday for that event. But for myself, Dean Doucette, and Mr. Baron Labosco, that's going to wrap it up here from Watkins Glen. We'll see you right here next time on Wind Tunnel TV.